Donald Trump just cannot handle it. California Governor Gavin Newsom is cleaning his clock so thoroughly that Trump's own US Attorney for the Central District of California actually called the Secret Service on Newsom. That's how deep Newsom living rent free in Trump's head. Let me show you exactly what happened. And the powerful press conference Governor Newsom held in Los Angeles this weekend, even as Trump administration was literally trying to seek the Secret Service on him. So, California Governor Gavin Newsom reported an AI-generated image originally shared by the White House and observed rendering of a Jade UFC stadium built on White House lawn where an actual fight is supposedly being planned. In response, Newsom sarcastically wrote, "Thanks God they are focused on the priorities of all Americans because, of course, what more important than 90,000 square feet golden ballroom? Demolishing the Rose Garden to create Club Rose Garden, and Trump rubbing Trump rubbing elbows with the British royal family, while Americans struggle to afford groceries and fear losing their health care. Newsom then hosted another job, and that's what reportedly triggers Trump team to call the Secret Service on the sitting governor of California. Newsom posted, "Kristi Noem is going to have a bad day today. You are welcome, America." He said that ahead of a press conference in Los Angeles, where he was set to sign new legislation aimed at curbing the reach of Trump's policies in California, including a law that would ban IC agents from wearing masks while operating in the state, along with other measures designed to protect Californians from what Newsom described as Trump's authoritarian agenda. That post clearly struck a nerve. Shortly after the acting US Attorney, Trump's top federal prosecutor in California Central District responded, "This is a young, underqualified, ultra mega loyalist handpicked by Trump. And instead of addressing policies, he escalated by involving the Secret Service." The US attorney said, "We have zero tolerance for direct or implied threats against government officials. I have referred this matter to the Secret Service and requested a full threat assessment." In response, the Secret Service issued a statement referring the referral and the social media post that at Secretary Kristi Noem, one of their protectees. They wrote, "Our field office has received the Department of Justice communication. To preserve operational integrity, we cannot comment on specific protected intelligence matter. However, the US Secret Service is required to variously investigate any situation or individual, regardless of position or status, that could pose or be or be perceived as posing a threat to one of our protectees, especially in a politically charged climate such as this." Seriously, this is what triggered a federal investigation. A secretary post by the governor of California calling the Secret Service over that is utterly pathetic. These people are not strong defense of democracy. They are thin-skinned, hyper, reactive loser, all of them. Then, to really drive the point home, Governor Newsom reminded everyone of a Trump post from March 10, 2020. Trump one posted, "Going to be a bad day for Crazy Bell." The Governor Newsom was not about to let the hypocrisy slide. He pulled the receipts, reposting Trump 2020 comment and mockingly added, "We have zero tolerance for direct or implicit threats against government officials. We have referred this matter to the Secret Service and request a full threat assessment." But on a more serious note, Newsom was also responding to a strong report, to a troubling report that Pentagon reports have allegedly been instructed not to publish information unless it's been approved by Patty Hegseth, a blatant threat to press freedom and transparency. Reports who refuse to comply are reportedly being threatened with the loss of their press credential. In response, Governor Newsom warned, "Your freedom is being strangled. This is how authoritarianism being. Don't look away." We also learned that under Trump direction, the Bureau of the Labor Statistics (BLS) has indefinitely postponed the release of the key inflation data. This comes just weeks after Trump fired the BLS commissioner for reporting labor numbers. He did not lie. Now, with the economy faltering, they are simply refusing to publish the data, an apparent attempt to hide the truth about the state of the economy under Trump leadership. So Governor Newsom posts a photo of the woman in pink who delivers propaganda on North Korea state TV, captioning it "The next job reporting brought to you by the pink dress lady." Then, in full caps, he adds, "Due to his horrific music, California will indefinitely suspend Kid Rock from performing in the Golden State. You are welcome." Governor Newsom posted an image of masked IC agents who, under a new California law, are now banned from concealing their identities. Huge credits to the California legislature and to the Governor Newsom. He wrote, "Governor Newsom just signed a law making California the first state in the nation to prohibit federal law enforcement officers, including ICE, from hiding their identities." Governor Newsom then posted an image with the caption, "Happy Weekend, Protest." Alongside it, he shared the following message: "The new law I just enacted a direct response to Donald Trump's lawless immigration raids and arrests are in California. We are fighting to restore order and protect our communities by requiring school and public hospital to limit access and implement privacy protocols to guard against federal overreach, mandating the school develop clear notification procedure for families and staff when immigration authorities are present on campus, banning most federal officials from concealing their faces, requiring law enforcement officers to publicly display their agency affiliation and badge number or name." Despite being referred to the Secret Service by Trump administration, Governor Newsom took the stage in Los Angeles and delivered one of the most powerful speeches I have heard in recent memory. As someone who lives in California, his words filled me with pride. He spoke not just about California, but about a broader vision of justice and resistance.
But let me first try to set a scene. It's one very familiar to many of you, but not necessarily to some folks that may be watching from other parts of the country. We're here in Los Angeles, the most diverse city in the most diverse state, California, in the world's most diverse democracy. It is a point of pride. We are a majority-minority state, California. At our best, we don't tolerate that diversity. At our best, we celebrate that diversity. We're a universal state. 27% of Californians are foreign-born. You heard the superintendent talk about all the mixed status families. Our status is unique in the United States of America. It's what makes California great. It's what makes America great. And it's under assault by this administration. There's a word that you've never heard uttered from the President of the United States' lips, certainly not Stephen Miller, and that's pluralism. We practice pluralism. It's a deep point of pride. Those values are under assault to a degree we could have never imagined. For those of you here in Los Angeles, you deeply absorb this, you deeply understand this. You saw your streets militarized. You saw the President of the United States, who in his first term never sent the military anywhere, not overseas, nowhere. In his second term, he sent the United States Marines, active duty Marines, to the city of Los Angeles. He federalized 4,000 of our National Guard. We said at the time it was a preview of things to come. Folks thought that was hyperbolic. They thought we were overstating it. Ask the folks in Washington, D.C., ask the folks other states like Illinois, what's about to happen in Memphis. We announced just a few weeks ago that we were standing up and pushing back as it relates to the rigging of elections. We were at the Democracy Center in Little Tokyo, the sacred site where we were interning and busing the Japanese. That shameful part of our past. And what did the administration do? What did Stephen Miller do? What did Donald Trump do? They sent masked men to intimidate folks from walking in to that event. Masked men. Poor soul that happened to be in the area, delivery guy delivering strawberries, was detained because he just happened to be in the area. Collateral damage. Disappeared. These masked men had no identification. These masked men did not provide any information, name, badge number, hidden from accountability, any transparency, any oversight. That's Trump's America, but it is not the America we've grown up in. And so we're pushing back against this.
Governor Newsom then spoke about the significance of the legislation he is signing into law, drawing a sharp contrast with the action of the Trump administration. He described what happening as something out of a bad sci-fi movie, except this time we cannot afford a look away. He emphasized the urgency of responding not just with authority, but with a moral authority.
Impact of these policies all across this city, our state, and nation are terrifying. It's like a dystopian sci-fi movie. Unmarked cars, people en masse, people quite literally disappearing, no due process, no rights in a democracy where we have rights. Immigrants have rights. And we have the right to stand up and push back. And that's what we're doing here today. This is a disgrace. This is an outrage, what we have allowed to happen in this country. And I could not be more proud of this legislature, the legislative authors, to the community demanding more from all of us at this moment to push back. I'll be signing a bill, the first in the nation, saying enough. To ICE, unmask. What are you afraid of? What are you afraid of? What are you afraid of? If you're going to go out and you're going to do enforcement, provide an ID. Tell us which agency you represent. Provide us basic information that all local law enforcement is required to provide. Have the decency not to threaten people as they go to school, to go out in the parking lots proximate to these schools to create chill, packed attendance. We talked to these kids. They were saying, one of you said, I've got friends, they don't go on the metro anymore. It's a public space. So your superintendent had the decency, foresight, and leadership to provide transportation. That's Trump's America. Hospitals. You talk about health infrastructure. You talk about community health. People scared to death to even access a community clinic for preventative medicine. Worried that somehow they're going to be turned in, or someone without identification looking like anyone else with a mask on may just jump out of a car and they may disappear. So I want to thank the legislative leaders for asserting themselves and providing me the privilege, the ability to sign these laws, pushing back at this moment. I thought Jon Stewart said it best. This is not about the pronoun police. This is about the secret police. We're not North Korea, Mr. President. We're not the Soviet Union. This is the United States of America. And I'm really proud of the state of California and our state of mind that we're pushing back against these authoritarian tendencies and actions of this administration. ICE is now the largest private police force in the United States of America. And I say private because increasingly it appears to many of us that they have sworn an oath to Donald Trump, not the Constitution. A private police force whose ranks are going to grow by some 10,000 dwarfing the FBI and DEA. Only comparable staffing and investments are military operations around the globe. That's what Congress, the supine leadership in Congress, provided, along with the supine members of the Supreme Court that have allowed racial profiling on the basis of accent, basis of location, and skin color. This is not America. And so we are pushing back firmly. We're pushing back using not just our formal authority, but perhaps the most important authority, and that's our moral authority. So thank you to the members of the legislature. Thank you to the authors of these bills. And it's my honor now to sign into law 4 pieces of legislation that go into effect immediately upon signature, and 1 on the masking that will formally go into effect in January of 2026. With that, let's